We had one of our members call. He's going to be 5 minutes late, so we're going to hold off to start if that's good with everybody.
Can we do that? Can we do that? No one gave us eye contact
Yep.
after we said that.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You can't start early, but you can start late.
Joe. Oh, he's at the dub light now. Like sitting in court.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Three once. All right, so just read the time, call to order. All right, it is 6:07, April 18th, 2024. We are calling to order the Economic Development Corporation 4B Council meeting. Right. Then you're going to have to help me with this, apologies. So I just need to read out the call to order. We have a quorum. Do I actually read the public comment section?
I could read it if you like.
Okay, that's fine.
Public comments. This is an opportunity for citizens to address the board commission on any matter pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.007. The board commission is not permitted to discuss or take action on any presentations made concerning matters that are not listed on the agenda. Presentations are limited to matters over which the board commission has authority. Speakers have up to 4 minutes or the time limit determined by the presiding officer. Each speaker must have submitted the request to speak by completing the speaker's form or may email me, M. Krakowski, at TrophyClub.org. And I did not receive any cards or emails.
So no speakers tonight, so we can move on to regular items. The first item is consider approval of the February 27th, 2024 EDC Corporation regular meeting minutes.
Make a motion?
I'll second.
All right, can we vote on it?
Sure, just for the record, and to help everyone, just if you're going to make a motion, move to approve, or that way we understand, because if you just say make a motion, we don't.
approve.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. All
Make a
right.
motion to approve?
Second.
All right.
All in favor? Good.
All right. Moving on to the second item, consider approval of the Thrive Business Grant Program.
Right. Good evening, EDC Board. It's good to see you. Thank you so much. I just wanted to thank y'all for your last meeting and all of your revisions for the Thrive Business Grant. As you can tell, we came up with a new name. And in your packet, I'll be going over some of the items that we had last time for revision. And the one that is beside you that has the numbers at the bottom, so you can see which page numbers we changed. Okay, so our first task was to consider a new name for the grant program. The reason behind the Thrive Business Grant Program is to align us with our strategic framework. Part of our strategic mission and vision is to have a community that thrives. And so we thought that this would be a good naming, a good name for the business grant, because it reflects the aspirations of what we believe the future of our community is for the Economic Development Corporation as well for the city. So that is where we came up with the Thrive Business Grant. We also had some revisions for the matching grants. So during our last discussion, we addressed adjusting the matching grants from the 85-15% to the 25-75%. So on page 5, you'll see that change has been made. Additionally, we revised the grant cap structure. We moved away from the specific dollar amount for each of the eligible grant items, and we just made it a clean $20,000 up to $20,000 grant. And you can also see that on page 5 as well. For the application review time, we did extend that time period for 60 days. So you'll also see that on page 10 of the document. This gives ample time for the EDC as well as the other tiers to approve it before it goes to council. We have clarified that we are not going to reimburse sales tax because we are sales tax exempt. So that is reiterated in this grant. And then We also introduced the second tier, which is our town manager. So he'll have the last review after EDC before it goes to town council. We've also did a priority on all of the tenured companies and businesses that are out there. So you'll also see that reflected in the grant program as well. We also added in the retention of the business grant. If it wasn't approved, it would stay on file with us for up to 1 year before they would have to reapply. And also, we did the possibility of approving multiple projects if we had the funds to do so for each participant. And lastly, we added in the addition of 2 quotes to the packet to ensure transparency and ethical standards. That was important to you, and so we also added that in as well. So the next steps for the grant program is tonight, we're going to ask the board if they approve the changes to the grant program so that it can be then taken to council for approval. So next steps would be, we've got the draft resolution ready. We'll present it to you. We've done that. You approve it, and once that's done, we will take it to council for approval, and then we will roll it out to the community. Just a reminder, we did add in the 60 days for approval, for the approval process. So as soon as we can get it done from council, it'll be rolled out as quickly as possible because we're getting very close to the end of the fiscal year. If we want to use that $300,000 that was allocated for the grant program, we'll need to kind of get this rolling out so that we can get applications in. Okay, with that, do you have any questions for me?
I don't remember on the application program, so once we receive an application, it goes through the grading process. Is the board, do we meet every single time an application comes in?
So for that, we have the guidelines sheet that was sent out to you. It's also in that packet. You will each determine if you want to come in to review those, but you will have to come in because we're not going to send it out over the email to review those. It will then come back to the board to review all of the applications. Then it will go to council for approval. So the guidelines in there is to help you. I took all of the information that was in the packet and made it into a guideline for you to kind of check off, is everything in the packet? If it's not, then you can stop. I will also be a liaison to you for this process. So if you find out there's any problems with it, I can reach back out to the applicant and see if we can get some more information from them.
But I would like to maybe have a particular day or date each month that we do whatever's come in since the previous month, that maybe on the 25th, and I'm just picking a number, on the 25th, we're gonna have all the applicants reviewed and ready for either approval or denial.
Okay.
And this way, we don't just kind of leave it open-ended and maybe we'll have a meeting 5 weeks later or 6 weeks later. I'd really like to set a day per month. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was,
I agree. Yeah.
that was my concern, is that either we would have to be waiting for a meeting, or like you would have one person coming in on a Tuesday and another person coming in to look at a stack of.
Yeah, that would be pretty confusing.
I can definitely set that up for you if you like. I want to tell you, I did set up a Thrive at TrophyClub.org email. So the applications will come to that email. And then once I receive them, maybe it's up to you if you want me to send you each week, I've received this amount of applications. We can pick a date to come in to review them. And then you'll have a number of how many applications you have. Is that
Yeah, I like the
helpful?
idea of once a month, we have a standing date.
Okay.
Because we have 60 days anyway, so it gives us the
Okay.
2 meetings if we get hung up or we need to discuss further.
And not to be selfish, but I'd like it to be a Thursday.
Yeah.
Not to be selfish, but
Okay. So I will try to find those dates for you and send it out in an email and see if that works for everybody. And then we'll just have a standing date on your calendar for if any of them come in.
Are we talking a meeting where we'll have a quorum?
That's what I didn't know if it were require a meeting for each.
Yeah, I can help with that. So after looking at this, Brandon, we're just discussing this. Because it's a project, right? It's an EDC project. The way it works so you have to remember your EDC funds, those are tax specific funds for the EDC. So the town can't spend those dollars without you giving them a project. Okay? So what you'll do is you could have a subcommittee that can review the applications, but you need to meet, you need to approve the project as a quorum, as a body, and then that project will then be forwarded to the council for final approval. So if the council was to make changes to your recommendation, the application would not be approved. What would happen is it have to come back to you. Okay, so they need to ultimately approve whatever projects are presented to them, but they can't modify them in such a way that it annuls what you have authorized. Does that make sense?
So if I may,
Yeah.
if we had 5 applicants, just say, and that was $100,000, we could move that through to next level and still have a remaining balance there while looking at applications. Okay.
But I was under the impression, Dean, that the grant program was a project and that if we set up some rather tight guidelines,
Yeah.
that it wouldn't, each individual application wouldn't need to be considered a project. Is that incorrect?
Yeah, that's how we've broadly done this. And so that's why it's written the way it is. But after hearing the discussion here, I think maybe it's best if we do have y'all meet again, especially as we're just rolling out the program. So you can meet and then approve the project. And that way the council knows that the full EDC has approved the project.
Okay.
I
see.
agree.
Now I see the point.
Yeah.
Okay, I see the point.
Yeah,
So-
because you're right. You have a program. If you approve the program tonight, that's your program. You have the budget. So you can apply the projects to the program, but.
Okay. So then my request to have, a particular day each month, we would need to have a meeting on that day,
Yes.
see the pool, just to take a look at, and I'm still okay with that.
Definitely.
As long as it's a Thursday.
Okay.
You could still have the subcommittee meet kind of ad hoc to go over a couple of projects and kind of
That's
get
right.
together and be like,
Yep.
okay, of the 15 we received, these are the 5 that really make sense to bring to vote.
Right.
Okay.
But does anybody not want to be on the subcommittee? I think we all want to be on it, don't we?
I see it as being redundant to have a subcommittee.
Right.
Just meet.
There's only 6 of us.
I was thinking of it more of not having to call a meeting. So that way you could.
To filter out
your own
things.
time.
So in other words, if we have 10 applicants and the subcommittee during that month denies all applicants, all applications, then we really wouldn't need to have a meeting because there are no applications to review then as the EDC. You see how?
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah, you're going to fluctuate here. You may, at the very beginning, we may have several come in, and then you might not have any come in for several months as well. So part of this will just be responding to workload that comes in. We'll communicate that, work to set up subcommittees, which will be not a quorum of you, right? So
Right.
we may ask for volunteers, and then the first 2 or 3 that volunteer, we close it off at that point. And then that might be for maybe the first couple, and then maybe the next couple, we'll just ask for another group to get together and go ahead and review those together. So we'll have to learn a little bit as we work through this to see what really works best, and we're certainly open to feedback too about how to handle that
Yeah,
part of it.
I just see the whole committee being us complicating this. And let's keep it simple. If we're going to meet once a month, we'll get an email from you saying, hey, there are none this month to review, or
Yes.
there are
On a weekly
5.
basis, like you said too there. I mean, the frequency for which are received, or even if there are none received for the week.
Yes. I will send it, each week. I will let you know if we've received any so that you know kind of how many we'll have, if that works for you. If not, I can send it the week prior to how many we've received, if we want to meet for that day.
Yeah, and maybe,
What works for you?
maybe it's more of a question of volume. Like if we have 20 applications, that probably needs to be done by subcommittee to get a couple bubbled up. But if it's 3 applications,
Is it kosher to have, let's say, tomorrow sends out, we've got 5 applications and it's the middle of the month. It's 2 weeks before we're set to meet. Would it make sense, or is it allowable for us to come in, maybe during the day and take a look at the applications, individually when it's convenient for us, and then we can just communicate, you can be the I don't want to create, again, I don't want to complicate this any more than it is, or than we have. But, I think that might be a little easier. And then, the night or 2 days before the regularly scheduled meeting, you could communicate, hey, we've got 7 applications that have been reviewed by individuals, and here's the audit trail, and we'll review them all and vote on them on Thursday night. I mean, is that too complicated, or is that straightforward enough?
That would eliminate the subcommittees and allow everyone an opportunity to come in and view it, as long as we don't have more than 3 people come in at a time.
Right.
And under that format, if you went to that type of situation, though that information can simply be sent out to all of you, when we kind of are doing the packets for it and getting things ready, you wouldn't necessarily always have to come in for that. You could wait until the packet's posted, right? Review information from an application and then be able to go ahead and put that into.
Yeah, I just didn't, I was trying to avoid sending information around electronically because of hacks and things like that. That's kind of, we're going to have financial information from the applicants in there. I just thought it'd be easier to stop in, but whatever makes sense.
Okay.
So is the next step, we make a motion, or we discuss, or we're asking questions now, but the next step would be for us to make a motion to approve.
Yes.
Correct. Yes.
So before you do that, I think there's a paragraph here that probably needs to be amended. And it's the one you just discussed. So right now, the way it's written,
Page?
it's page, is that
Page 10 of 18. Yep, it's where the application process is to start.
and it's the 3rd bullet point down after application process.
Selection committee.
So yeah, I can read. So what I've done is I've just kind of made a note here of how, based on your discussion, how it might read. So it would say the EDC will review applications and may approve applications based on eligibility criteria and alignment with program goals. Does that works for me?
Yeah, that's.
With that amendment, would we have to come back to approve it?
No.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the Thrive Business Grant Program with Town Attorney's amendment.
A second.
I've done this a long time.
That's how you've done it before. Yeah, very well done.
do I ask for a vote? What's the proper process here? All right.
Yes.
Do a vote on that.
Yeah.
All in
There you go.
favor?
Perfect. All in favor?
So when after you get a motion, a first and a second, you can open up for discussion. And then if there's discussion, discuss. If there's not, then call vote.
Okay. All right. So it looks like the motion is passed. And on to our 3rd item, an update on the request for proposals for the small area of 54.2 acres of land located near State Highway 114 Frontage Road and Trophy Wood Drive.
All right. So we initiated an RFP process for the small area that encompasses the town hall area to 114 all the way down to the hospital right before you get to the apartment complex. So that's the 54.2 area. The purpose of this was to kind of reimagine the property layout and address any critical priorities. And these were the priorities that we had in the RFP, was to like improve the community's economic resilience, attracting and retaining service-based employment, enhancing the town's quality of life, promoting economic and environmental sustainability, planning for improved pedestrian walkability and safety. That was a large one. Providing opportunities for future development and redevelopment, and then plan for area parking. So this was the priority of the reason why we wanted to reimagine the property area here, was to include all of this in. And then the RFP opened on March 25th and closed on April 15th. We did receive 2 applicants. We are requesting EDC involvement in this. We need at least 3 people to volunteer to come in and help us with the criteria requirement that we have. We're gonna fill out our criteria requirements, our evaluations, and then do in-person interviews. So if you would like to be a part of that, please email me afterwards and let me know, and then we can set up some time. I just need 3. We're gonna have 4 of staff members and then 3 EDC go through this this cycle here. And then May 9th, we'll come back with our reviewed evaluation criteria, and then have the EDC do a little update on it, and approve the firm to move forward with council, to go to council. Hopefully, we're looking at May 28th of it going to council for the final approval. Okay. With that, I think that's everything.
We had any questions on that? Discussion? All right, so the time is 6:29. At this point, we'll break into executive session. Do I need to call order?
We need to have Maggie just go ahead and read the description of the executive session.
Pursuant to the following designated section of the Texas Government Code, annotated Chapter 551, Texas Open Meetings Act, the town will recess into executive session to discuss the following. Section 551.071, consultation with the town attorney to seek legal advice regarding the First Amendment to the Trophy Table Economic Development Agreement.
Right.
Thank you for this.
All right, everybody back. The time is 7:01, and we will now reconvene into regular session. Do we have any?
And then at this point, just go saying that there's no action as a result of the executive session, and then you can go ahead and call for the adjournment of the meeting.
All right, there was no action after the executive session. And with that, we can adjourn the meeting.
Make a motion to close the meeting?
Second.
All right, any discussion on closing the meeting?
No.
All right, 7:02, we are closed.